This time I mentioned how to do an awesome magic trick with a knife. Let's do this. Alright, so what's going to happen is the spectator is going to pull out any card they want, so in this case the 3 of spades, and what you're going to do is you're going to mention to the spectator that you want them to put their card right about there. Then you're going to mention to the spectator that you brought with you something that's quite interesting. I mean, it's not seen very often in magic tricks, but it is seen sometimes, I guess. Anyways, what it is a knife. So you're going to try something quite interesting with this. You're going to take this knife, and you're going to try something. You're going to go like this. Ready? Watch. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And just like that, you actually cut directly to one card, which is the 3 of spades. Well, I was done, I'm going to show you right now. Alright, so here's how it's done. Right about here, I have one interesting card that's unique from the rest because it has a magnet on the other side. So, you're going to need one of these interesting cards because it has, well actually it's just a card with a magnet taped on the back, but this is a really strong magnet. I believe it's like a neodymium magnet or something. That's probably pronouncing it wrong. But anyways, I'm actually going to... So this is what it is. It's a neodymium magnet or whatever that is. A neodymium magnet. And it's used a lot in magic, so basically it's a really strong magnet. You can find it at magic stores, or you can find it on a lot of online stores. It's used for science experiments and magic tricks, stuff like that. So anyways, they're neodymium magnets or something like that. So anyways, you can see the spelling right here. I'm probably going to put it on the screen. So anyways, that's what they're called. Okay, so you're going to take your neodymium magnet and with your card and put it on the bottom, taped to the bottom. Then what you're going to do is you're going to have your knife to the side like this, and you ask the spectator to pull out any card they want. So in this case, we have the Queen of Diamonds, that'll work. Then you're going to cut the deck and ask them to put it back, but what I recommend is you're going to cut the cards so that up here we have barely any cards, because this magnet is strong, but it is also small. So what's going to happen is if you cut, you know, too many cards, it's not going to work because the magnet is so small. So anyways, I have a little bit of cards here, not too much. Then I'm going to put the card there, and the rest is pretty much self-explanatory. You're going to take the knife, and you're going to say, okay, we have this knife here, blah, 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 whatever you want. Then you're going to say, you're going to go like this. Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Show the card, and that is... Less for interesting latest content, subscribe down below to be notified of future uploads. I do lots of magic tutorials like this, so if you want to see more of these awesome tricks, then make sure to subscribe down below. I also do tips and tricks how to improve your magic, stuff like that. So that's pretty much it. Hope you enjoyed. Like, comment, subscribe. That's for now. I'll see you next time. This time I'm going to show you an awesome prediction trick you could do with M&Ms. Let's do this. Okay, so what's going to happen is you're going to start with a prediction here, and that's going to go to the side. Then you're going to have a thing of M&Ms, and you're going to ask the spectator to, without looking, reach in and grab any M&M that they want to pull it out. So they're going to do that, and they're going to pull one of the M&Ms out, so like this one right here, and they picked the orange one. And I kid you not, they could literally pick anyone they want. Like, I mean, this actually is a free choice, basically, and then they could have pulled out any M&M you want. You want to make sure this is extremely effective. You're going to unwrap this, and just like that, they actually pull out the exact same color orange, and you say, out of all these M&Ms, we actually have all different colors, and you could have picked out any other color, but you picked this one on your own will, which was orange. When I was done, I'm going to show you. Okay, so what you're going to do is you're going to remove all the oranges from them, and then you're going to take all the other ones and you're going to put them back inside the container. Okay, so now that all of the orange ones are on top, most likely somebody's going to pull an orange one out, but if they don't, there actually is a way to avoid this and have a backup plan just in case they pull a different one out instead. Okay, after you put all the different ones inside the container, you're going to take the oranges and you're going to sprinkle them on top. And what I recommend is that you get 2 packs of these M&Ms and you take, you know, all the oranges out of one of them, and then you have double the amount of oranges because it'll just make it happen more often the way you want it to. So what you're going to do is you're going to take these and you're going to sprinkle them on top. Okay, now because of all the oranges being on top, what's going to happen is most likely somebody is going to pull out an orange when they reach in, and they're just most likely going to pull out an orange because the oranges are on top. But there is a possibility of them not pulling out an orange one, so what you're going to do is if they don't pull out one, let's say they started being a jerk and like mixing them up or something, well, not really being a jerk, but being skeptical, right? They start mixing them up and they pull out a red one, let's say, and then maybe a little bit later, what you're gonna do if they do this, so let's say they didn't pull out an orange one, they pulled out a red one, this is gonna be your backup plan. You're gonna let them keep pulling them out until they eventually have 6 different ones, and hopefully at this point, I mean, it would be very uncommon for them to pull out 6 different M&Ms and not end up with an orange one, especially since the oranges are on top. then you're gonna do this for. So let's say you're gonna casually, just don't mention too much about it, you're gonna take this orange and you're gonna put it at the 3rd position, and then you're gonna ask the spectator, can you just name a number? So whatever number they name is always gonna be orange. So let's say they say 1, it's gonna be O-N-E. If they say T, 2, T-W-O, it's gonna land on orange. 3, 1, 2, 3, it lands on orange. 4, F-O-U-R, or 1, 2, 3, 4, and it lands on orange. Up to you. 5, F-I-V-E, and it lands on orange. And then 6, S-I-X, and it lands on orange. So that would be your backup plan if they don't pull the orange out, but most likely they will. Okay, most likely you won't have to do that backup plan, so most likely, since all the oranges are on top, they're just gonna reach in, they're gonna pull out any M&M, and most likely it'll be orange. I mean, I just showed you the backup plan, and if it isn't orange, and what's gonna happen is you're just gonna unwrap this prediction, show it, and literally this is so effective because they could have literally pulled out any one you want, and to show that they could have pulled out any different one and they're all different, you're just gonna casually give this a shake, then you're gonna dump them out because this mixes them up, right? So now they're all in different order, and that is how it's done. Well, that's pretty much it. If you like this content, subscribe down below to be notified of future uploads. That's pretty much it. Hope you enjoyed. Like, comment, and subscribe. That's for now. I'll see you next time. This time I mentioned how to do magic trick with a hat and a coin. Let's do this. Alright, so this is what it looks like. When I was done, I'm going to show you right now. Alright, so this is a kind of interesting coin trick. What you're going to need for this is you're going to need a giant coin. You can buy these almost anywhere, the internet, magic shops, basically everywhere. You just need a giant coin. They're very common to find, and yeah. So you're going to need one of these, and what you're going to need to do is you're going to need to put it into thumb palm. So like this. So there's a lot of tutorials on what the thumb palm looks like. This is sort of what it looks like. You basically take your thumb like this, and you grip the coin like this. So basically you have your thumb keeping the coin in position. So basically that's what you're going to do. You're going to take the coin and you're going to put it in this position where your thumb is curled and your fingers sort of look like that. So that's what it should look like from the front, but obviously you don't want to just like have your hands stretch out like this because that would look unnatural. So it's like sort of like that, right? So anyways, in the other hand it's exactly the same. You just want to hold it like that. And from the front view, you can't see it. So you want to practice this in front of a mirror because there's a lot of different things that could go wrong. For example, if you turn a little bit too much this way, then they'll see the palm, right? You want to make sure you know your angles very well, stuff like that. And it's pretty self-explanatory from this point. You take your hat like this, and you basically reach into the hat, pull it out like this, and as it goes in your pocket, you have a whole bunch of cover to do that. So that's all you're doing. You're pulling it out of the hat like this, and you put it in your pocket like that. So now, what you want to do to make sure when you put it in your pocket, the very last time you're doing it, make sure you actually put it in your pocket so you come out completely clean. And yeah, that's basically what's going to happen. And then what you're going to want to do is when you're doing this, what I recommend doing is don't have the hat tilted too far down. You want it tilted partially upward. The main reason is because otherwise people could see inside, and you don't want people to see inside the hat. So yeah, that's pretty much it, and that is how it's done. Alright, so you're going to have your coin in your thumb palm right here, and you're going to have your hat here, but you're going to have it tilted upward a tiny bit. The main reason is because you have it tilted too far down. People will see inside the hat, so you don't want that. You want to tilt it upward just a little bit. And you're going to take this hand and you're going to dangle it down at your side, just dangling there. Don't have a stretched out arm or anything suspicious, because people will be suspicious of it. So basically, you want to practice it in front of a mirror to make sure you get your angles right. Don't have stretched out fingers or anything. Basically, just reach into your hat, pull out the coin, and go into your pocket, and inside your pocket, since you have so much cover, you basically just rotate with your fingers, sort of like snapping, and into thumb palm again, like that. Then you reach into your hat again, pull out the coin, and into the pocket, basically. So this is basically what you're going to be doing, and eventually, you don't want to do this for too long, because eventually somebody will catch on, so don't do it too much, basically. So once you feel like you're about to end pulling the coins out of the hat, what you want to do is you want to actually put the coin inside your hat, inside your pocket, and then you could end completely clean, and that is how it's done. Well, that's pretty much it. If you like this content, subscribe down below to notify of future videos. I do lots of magic tutorials, I do tips and tricks, how to improve magic, stuff like that. That's pretty much it. Hope you enjoyed. Like, comment, subscribe. That's for now. I'll see you next time. This time I mentioned how to do an awesome mentalism trick with a really insane method. Let's do this. Alright, so to do this entire trick, you are going to be blindfolded, so let's get this out of the way, and I'm going to blindfold myself with this toque over here. So just like this, through this entire trick, you are going to be blindfolded. Then what you're going to do is you're going to ask the spectator to you know, write down one dead person on one card, take it, fold it up. So they write one dead person, it could be a famous person, just some kind of dead person, fold it up, and place it to the side, and write 2 alive people on the other 2 cards. So they're going to do that, and they're going to fold these up just like this. And you don't touch them. You don't touch them at this point. And you still don't touch them, and you ask the spectator to mix them up in any way they want, so there's no way you can know which one is which, and you're still not touching them. You don't touch them through this entire thing. And then what you're going to do is you're going to ask the spectator to pick up any of them and place it on your hand. So they pick up one of the cards and place it on your hand like this. And you say, you know what, I want you to place this in the upper left corner. So they do that. Then you ask them to take another one, it doesn't matter which one they take, and place it on your hand like this. And you say, I want you to take this one and place it in the middle. And they do that. And you're asking them to take the last one, place it on your hand, and say, you know what, I want you to take this and put it on the right corner. And then you're gonna say, you know what, actually I want you to, can you take the middle one and place it on my hand one more time? I gotta scan that one a little bit better. Now the left one maybe. Let's try that. Alright, put those back. Now I've made my final decision. I believe that on the upper left we have the dead person, and on the 2 other ones are gonna be the live person. So let's take this off for a second, and let's see. So right here, we have the dead person on the upper left, just as I predicted, and the 2 alive people right here and right here. When that's done, I'm going to show you right now. So the way this is done is actually really, really cool, and I'm going to show you how it's done right now. Alright, so you're going to start by taking one of your papers, and you're going to have to glue it to another paper. This is to make it a little bit heavier, and you're going to be able to tell which one it is by the weight. Okay, so now just like that, I taped it, no, I glued it to the other paper. When you do this in real life, you're going to want to do a better job than this, but I was kind of rushing through it because, like, there's a little gap there and stuff. But you're going to want to glue it to the other paper. I recommend using better glue than this. Just, you get the idea, just glue it to make it a little bit heavier. Alright, so after you do that, you're going to place the one with 2 of them glued together and place it on top, and you're going to allow the spectator to pick up one of the cards, and it'll be always the top card because it's just convenienter, and then they're going to pick it up and they're going to write the dead person's name on it as you're blindfolded, so you don't see any of this happening. So you're blindfolded, they write the dead person's name on it, they fold it up. You could pre-fold them like this if you choose to, because it might make it more convenient, as, like, you know, they fold it up properly. Well, actually, it doesn't really matter if they fold it up properly. They could fold it a different way and it will still work. They'd fold up the 2 live people, and the rest is pretty self-explanatory. With practice, you will be able to ask them to place the card on your hand like this, put it to the side with every single one, and be able to scan for which one's heavier, and that one will be the right one. And that is how it's done. Well, that's pretty much it. If you like this content, subscribe, download, and if I have future videos from magic tutorials like this, new tips and tricks, how to improve your magic, stuff like that. That's pretty much it. Hope you enjoyed. Like, comment, subscribe. That's for now. I'll see you next time. To mention how to know awesome trick of a bunch of tiny cards. Let's do this. Alright, so you're going to start by asking someone to touch any card they want. So let's say the spectator touched this one right here, which will land them on a card. In this case, the King of Diamonds. Now, they could have touched any card they wanted. They could have touched this one, they would have got the Jack of Spades. If they touched this one, they got 6 of Hearts. You get the idea. They could have touched any card they want. And actually, I feel like I got a little something in my hat right out there. Actually, I don't see anything. That's kind of weird. Let me just double check. Okay, I actually do have a little something in my hat. And if we notice here, there should be actually one card, one of these small cards inside my hat with a little X on it, just like that. What just so happens to be their chosen card, the King of Diamonds. Now that was done, I'm going to show you right now. So if you've been on my channel for quite a while now, you might already know how this is done, because I made another trick that's actually very similar to this trick. Well, actually pretty much the same trick with a little bit of a different variation, called, basically called, what was it? It was coins and a hat trick, and it was like basically you dump the hat out and a bunch of coins come out. This is pretty much the same trick with a different variation. So with that out of the way, let's go to tutorial. Well, if you already know this is done from the other tutorial, you don't really have to watch this, but you can if you want. Right out of the way, let's get on to tutorial. So you're going to need a whole bunch of tiny cards like this, and you're going to take one of the cards, and you're going to draw a big X on it. In this case, my force card is the King of Diamonds, so I write a big X on the King of Diamonds. So I take that, and I mix it in between all of the other tiny cards, just like this. I square them up, and then I'm going to put them in my hat, but I'm going to put them in like the rim of the hat. So make sure you have really small cards. You're going to need to make sure these cards are literally so small that they can fit in the rim of your hat, just like this, because that's basically how it's done. So you're going to take these cards, and they're going to go inside the rim of your hat, just like this. So you can see, as you can see, they're going inside the rim of the hat, and they actually truly go in, and they're locked inside, just like that. Now you can't see the cards,
And like if you have a little bit of a label there, then it's better to do it underneath the label, because like if there's a little bit flash, like you can see right here, then it might cover it up a little bit. If there's no like label, then it's fine. But the biggest, most important thing is to get really, really small cards. Like even a lot of small cards won't be small enough for this. You need really small ones. Maybe even measure the rim before buying how small the cards need to be. So you're gonna put them in the rim like that, and you're gonna just put this hat on just like this, and you'd probably wear this hat like this all day, and you know, they probably shouldn't fall out, but maybe double check in your hat to make sure they're all perfectly aligned before performing the trick. Then what you're gonna do is you're gonna go up to the spectator and you're gonna force a card. So in this case, I used a force where I have the king of diamonds on the bottom, and I ask the spectator to touch any card they want. Whatever card they touch, I basically pull it in with my thumb, and I drop out this bottom card like that as I turn my wrist. So what I do is I have the card on the bottom like this, and then I ask them to touch any card they want. Let's say they touch this one. I bend it over with my wrist like this, I pull it in, and I drop out the king of diamonds. In fast motion, it looks like you just placed their card down on the table, like that. Obviously, you don't want that one to come out. These cards are a little wet because I dropped them in water, so, you know. So anyways, what you're gonna do is you're gonna ask them to touch any card they want. They touch this one, and you basically just throw it out like that by dragging this in and throwing the other card out onto the table. Then what you're gonna do is you're gonna say, actually, I feel like I got a little something in my hat. You're gonna take it off, and here's the thing, you wanna show it empty, and you gotta get a feel for this. You don't wanna tilt it too far back, otherwise the cards will fall out and you'll be able to see them like they sort of are right now. But you don't wanna tilt it too far forward because it'll look suspicious, and you probably won't be able to see inside the hat, and people won't be able to really get a trick out of it. So you gotta get the feel of how far you could tilt it backwards. They're sort of popping out right now. And then you're just gonna lift it upside down, dump them out. You're gonna just shake it to dump them out, and then you're just gonna actually at this point, it's better if you let them spread through and see where the king of diamonds is, because if you let them find this card with the X on it, it's a lot more dramatic than you spreading through, because whenever you want to get whenever you get the spectator involved, it's a lot better. So since you could get the spectator involved, get them involved, let them find it, and that is how it's done. Well, that's pretty much it. If you like this content, subscribe to the load for future tutorials, tips and tricks, how to improve magic, stuff like that. That's pretty much it. Hope you enjoyed. Like, comment, subscribe. That's for now. I'll see you next time. Just to mention how to do another awesome prediction trick with a deck of cards. Let's do this. Alright, so what's going to happen is you're going to let the spectator shuffle up the cards as much as they like. They can shuffle this up as much as they like. It's completely up to them. They can literally shuffle the deck as much as they like. It's completely up to them. Then what you're going to do is when they try handing it back, you're going to ask them, are you sure? Do you want to shuffle it some more? If they want to shuffle it some more, then they can do that. Let's say they finally finish shuffling up the deck. You're going to take the deck back and you're going to ask them to name a number. Let's say they say, well, in between 52. Let's say they said 3. 1, 2, 3, which would land them on this card right here. Now they can name any card in the deck. It's completely up to them, but they landed on this card right here out of all the cards in the entire deck. Now you're going to mention to them as they could have named any card in the entire deck, but they landed on this one right here, which just so happens to be the 7 of diamonds. And they could have named any card in the entire deck, but they landed on this one right here, which is the 7 of diamonds. Now inside this box, I actually have one prediction right about here, which just so happens to be the 7 of diamonds. Out of all the cards you picked the one prediction, which is the 7 of diamonds. When it's done, I'm going to show you right now. Alright, so this is a very simple trick, and if you haven't already figured it out, then here's how it's done. So you're going to take your card, you're going to take the 7 of diamonds, this is in blue, and you're going to take this and put it inside the box. So we got the 7 of diamonds just like this, stick it inside the box. And then what you're going to do is you're going to look for your other 7 of diamonds, and this is what you're going to do with it. You're going to take it, and you're going to find it first. Okay, we got the 7 of diamonds right here, just like that. Now what you're going to do is you're going to take this card and you're going to put it face down on top of the box, and that's going to go up to your side right. Alright, so then what you're going to do is you're going to take the cards. These can be shuffled up as much as they'd like by the spectators, completely up to them. You can see why, because you got the 7 of diamonds over there. They can shuffle this up literally as much as they want. You take it back, you get them to name a number, it's completely up to them. And then this is a sleight. Once you pull out the card that they have landed the number on, here's how you do the sleight of hand. Alright, so what you're going to do is you're going to grab the deck like this, and you're going to need to get a break underneath the 7 of diamonds, which is underneath the box. Try to do this without flashing, obviously. That's the hard part. You're going to go to reach for it, and usually what I do is I apply the same amount of pressure underneath on both sides. Don't let it pop up like that. But basically, you reach forward, you apply the same amount of pressure on both sides, you let your thumb go underneath, and you just get a break underneath that card right there. Then you pick up this card. You're going to give it 1, 2 flicks. You have the other card right here. Well, you don't have to do this. This is just what I do. I don't know why. I just do it. And then I plant it on top and I grip it with my thumb like that. Now this is when I come out like this.
and I basically flip it over and say, you landed on the 7 of diamonds, which is actually a lie, because that's what us magicians do, we lie all the time. So we take the 7 of diamonds, we can flip it over, and we want this card spread out in front of us. The reason being is because you easily take this and scoop up the entire deck with it and place it to the side. Now we have 7 of diamonds shown. Now what you can do, pull out this card, show the prediction, and that is how it's done. Well, that's pretty much it. If you like this content, subscribe down below to notify future uploads. I'll also mention tutorials, do tips and tricks, how to remove your magic, stuff like that. So that's pretty much it. Hope you enjoyed. Like, comment, subscribe. That's for now. I'll see you. This time it's the test to see how intelligent you truly are. Let's do this. Alright, so before I start, I'd like to mention a few things. First of all, this trick is an interactive card trick, so what I recommend is, if you want to follow along, which I highly recommend because it'll be really cool, is go out and get, pieces of cardboard, cut out 4 pieces of cardboard or pieces of paper and write genius on one, 75% on one, 0% on one, and 50% on one. So go do that. Pause. Alright, so another thing I'd like to mention is the first time I saw this trick was with Penn and Teller's Love Ritual card trick, which I thought it was pretty cool. This is sort of my spin on the presentation, on what I think would be really cool to do. So anyways, this is how it's... Okay, so this is a test to see how smart you truly are. So we got 0% intelligence over here, 50% intelligence over here, 75% intelligence over here, and this one is just to say that you're a genius. Alright, so what I'd like you to do is take these cards and basically just stack them all on top of each other like this. Now what I want you to do is take these cards and crease them in half. Just like this. Crease the cards in half, and then take them and crease them in half the other way around, just like this. And keep doing this until it's very loose in the middle. Like this. Now what I want you to do is take these cards and rip them in half. So we got a half over here and half over here, and take these half and place them on the bottom. Alright, so follow these steps as closely as you can, and if you do it properly, then it will officially tell you how smart you truly are. So, what I'd like you to do is take the top card, place it on the bottom, take the top 2 cards, place them on the bottom, and now take the top 1, 2, 3 cards, don't place them on the bottom, place them somewhere in the center of the pack, like this. Now take the top card and place it directly in front of you like this. Now what I'd like you to do, take the top card and place it somewhere in the center of the deck. It doesn't matter where it is, just somewhere. Right, so what I want you to do is take 1, 2, or 3 cards and throw them away. 1 if you think you're a genius, 2 if you think you're moderately smart, and 3 if you think you're stupid. So what I want you to do is just take that amount of cards and throw them away. So I think I'm a genius, so I'm going to throw 1 away. Just like that. Now what I want you to do is name off all the days of the week. So what we're going to do is we're going to start with Sunday, we're going to place on the bottom. We're going to go Monday, place that on the bottom. Tuesday, place it on the bottom. Wednesday, place it on the bottom. Thursday, place it on the bottom. Friday, place it on the bottom. And Saturday, place it on the bottom. Now, what I want you to do is follow this last step until you're left with 1 card. Once you're left with 1 card, don't freak out that I still have cards, because just leave with that 1 card. Take the top card, place it on the bottom, take the next card, throw it away. Take the top card, place it on the bottom, take the next card, throw it away. Take the top card, place it on the bottom, take the next card, throw it away. Take the top card, place it on the bottom, next card, throw away, top card on the bottom, and next card, throw away, until you're left with 1 card. Now take the card that you put out earlier, and this will officially tell me how intelligent I truly am. Alright, so there's not very much that I could say about this tutorial, because it's basically just a self-working trick that the only way you could really figure out how to do it is by re-watching this video and following the steps and memorizing these steps. And once you memorize these steps, you can perform this to anybody. But what I recommend doing is, this is a really fun trick to perform for a really big amount of people. So whenever you have a big amount of people, it's really fun to perform, because, like, you know, you have different people having different smartnesses, and it's, like, you know, really funny and, you know, just basically a really overall comedic trick, and it's, like, you know, kind of fun to perform. This is sort of my spin-off of the Penn and Teller Love Ritual card trick. I hope you enjoy it. Let's see what you think. Well, that's pretty much it. If you like this content, subscribe down below to what I find our future videos. I do some magic tutorials, I do tips and tricks, how to improve your magic, stuff like that. If you want to learn how to improve your magic, if you want to learn new tricks, make sure to subscribe down below. That's pretty much it. Hope you enjoyed. Like, comment, subscribe. That's for now. I'll see you next time. This time I mentioned you're going to learn to take any coin, go like this, and toss it right through a book and into a cup. One of those done, I'm going to show you right now. Okay, so technically I have taught this on this channel before, but that was a really bad quality video that I made like about 2 years ago almost, so I decided to make an updated tutorial, and I'll most likely delete the other one eventually, just because this one's gonna be better quality and stuff. So, anyways, this is how to do the trick. You're gonna take one coin, and it's gonna go on the very rim of the cup. You're gonna take the book, and you're gonna cover the coin. No tape, no nothing. It's just hanging underneath on the rim and the book, pushing it together, just like that. And you're gonna hold it like that, just like that. Now, you're gonna take the coin and you're gonna hold it like this, and you're gonna do this sort of action. As you come over to put it, as if you're gonna put it through the book, you're just gonna drop it into your hand and your fingers are gonna cover it. So it's gonna look like this. You're gonna have it in your hand like this. As you come over, you're just gonna drop it, and as you turn over like this, it goes in between these two fingers. So when you're turning your hand over, it should look like this, and it'll go into those fingers as you turn it over because of the motion. So it's gonna be like that, just like that, as if this would be the book, and it looks like you dropped it in, and then they'll see the coin, and then, yeah. Okay, so now that you know how to do that, all you're gonna do is you're gonna do it. You're gonna go like this, and then as you come here, you're just gonna push the book to the side a little bit to let the coin out, and into the cup. Now, you have this in your hand right here, so now, as you take the book away, you can take it away with this hand that has the coin, so it has complete cover, and everybody's looking here. You can show this hand completely empty, dump it out, everybody could examine this stuff, and then maybe you could like put some stuff away or whatever you want, because you have this, which is covering the coin. If you were doing like a show or something, you could easily just put this book away somewhere, and obviously ditch the coin with it, and basically that is how it would be done. Well, that's pretty much it. If you enjoy this content, make sure you to subscribe to see more of my content that's coming up soon. That's it for now. If you'd like, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. That's for now. I'll see you next time. This time I mentioned a really sneaky way to switch a deck of cards. Let's do this. So this is what the switch looks like. You start too far away from the audience and you realize yourself that you're a little bit too far away from the audience. So you go to move towards the audience. Then you accidentally drop your deck of cards. Pick it up, place it on the table, and just like that, you have switched the deck of cards. When this is done, I'm going to show you right now. Alright, so this switch is actually very, very simple. All we have here is a piece of cardboard rolled up, just big enough to fit a deck of cards through it, taped to the bottom of the table. Obviously make sure that it's really well taped so it doesn't fall off, because that would be bad. So the way this works, obviously this isn't a very good table to use because we got all this different stuff in the way, and you know, it's kind of hard to deal with this kind of table. But basically all you gotta do, take your switch deck right there, and then you have your deck that you're using on the time. Depends if it's your cold deck or your standard deck, and you're gonna switch it with this deck of cards. So what you do is, as you pick up the table, you actually just push this deck in here and allow that one to fall out onto the floor. So what it looks like is you picked up the table and accidentally dropped your deck of cards in the process, and then you got to pick it up and place it on the table. That's what it looks like to the audience, but to you, you know that you did something sneaky. So a few tips to pulling this off. First of all, don't look down at the table. What I recommend is looking at the audience as you bring the table forward. The reason being is because if you look at the table, then they're going to be looking at the table too instead of you. And what happens when they look at the table too is they might notice that the deck of cards is falling a little bit too far away from your hand in order for it to be the same deck. If that makes sense, it's not that big of a deal, but it's better if they're looking towards you, so when it falls out, it doesn't seem like it's too far away from your hand, and they'll see, they won't be watching, so that's kind of what you want to do. And another tip is what you want to do is, as you're bringing the table forward with your deck of cards, you want to bring it halfway to the audience first, then let it fall, then you pick it up, then bring it the rest of the way to the audience. The reason you want to do this is because by bringing it halfway to the audience and then dropping it, it causes you to pick it up instead of the audience, so you have a higher chance of getting to it first. It doesn't really matter if they get to it first, but there's a bigger possibility of them seeing your little contraption underneath if they try to pick it up. So bring it halfway to the audience first, then accidentally drop your deck of cards and pick it up yourself, all that kind of stuff. Then bring it all the way to your audience, and you have successfully switched the deck of cards. Well, that's pretty much it. If you like this content, subscribe to the to 5 videos with tutorials, do tips and tricks, how to prove magic, stuff like that. Do lots of really cool magic videos, just a bunch of magic stuff, tutorials, all that kind of stuff. That's pretty much it. Hope you enjoyed. Like, comment, subscribe. That's for now. I'll see you next time. This time I mentioned how to do a really advanced magic trick of a deck of cards and an egg. Let's do it.
Okay, so we're gonna start by pulling the cards out of the deck just like this, and then we're gonna try something a little bit interesting. We're gonna say watch. We're gonna pick up a portion of cards, we're gonna fan them out like this. We're gonna take the rest of the deck and we're gonna fan that out as well, and you're gonna say 1, 2, 3. And just like that, you can produce an egg right out of thin air. While that was done, I'm gonna show you right now. Okay, so here's how that was done. You're gonna want to start with the cards inside the box, just like this. And you're gonna grab the egg and you're gonna hold it like this. And I'm gonna change the camera angle so you can see exactly how this is done and the... Okay, so you're gonna start like this, with the deck in your hand like this and the egg underneath. Now you're gonna casually open up the deck like this, and you're gonna come forward and you're gonna pull the box off of the cards, just like that. So you still have the egg in your hand like this. And from the front view, it looks perfectly fine, just looks like you're holding it like this. Now, you're gonna pick up a portion of cards like this, fan them out, and you're just gonna sort of see how I have the egg here. It's just dropping out underneath the fan. Obviously, you want to cover it from above so the spectators can't see it from the side. Fan them out, spread them out, and that is how it's done. So this trick will take a lot of practice. It's not an easy thing to do, so it's not really a beginner's trick, more advanced, all that stuff. So if you like this, then make sure you practice it because it's going to take a lot of practice. And yeah, let's see what you think. Well, that's pretty much it. If you like this content, make sure to subscribe down below to be notified of future uploads. So that's pretty much it. Hope you enjoyed. Remember to like, comment, and subscribe. That's for now. I'll see you next time. This time I mentioned an insanely awesome trick with a deck of cards and a pair of scissors. Let's do this. Okay, so there's going to be a card selected, so in this case we'll use this one right here, which is the 6 of spades. That works perfectly. And the idea is it gets lost in the deck, but it actually does get lost in the deck, so you have no breaks or anything like that. And it truly is in the center of the deck. So anyways, I give the deck a little bit of a shuffle, or the spectator could actually give the deck a shuffle if they want, just to make sure it truly is in the center of the deck. Their chosen card, center of the deck. Then you're going to take a case, and you're going to put the cards inside the box. Then you're going to need a little bit of... Actually, you're going to need a pair of scissors. So right over here, I've got a pair of scissors. Oh, covered in snow, but whatever. So, you got your pair of scissors, and you're going to try something a little bit interesting. You're going to say watch. With this deck of cards right here, you're going to ask the spectator to just cut a little bit above. Don't actually cut it, so then you're going to hand the scissors to the spectator and they're going to do exactly what you just did. And you're going to say, so what we're doing here is we're going to actually create something that really amazing is going to happen. So, and then when you open up the case, you're going to dump it out and you're going to show that look, every single card has torn up to pieces or cut up to pieces from the scissors except for one card right here, which is your card, the 6 of spades. One of that was done. I'm going to show you right now. Okay, so here's how that was done. First of all, you're going to need a second deck of cards and you're going to need some kind of box over here for, like, if you're doing a show, or you could do it in your pocket, but I prefer the box. So over here you're going to have some sort of box to my side, and you're going to take all these torn cards and your one duplicate card. You're going to have a duplicate card with the same card in here, and take all the other cut up cards, put them in the box. Okay, so just like that, I should have all the torn up cards inside the box, just like that. Then you're going to take your duplicate 6 of spades and you're going to slide it in with the torn up cards. Okay, so now I got all the torn up cards and the 6 of spades inside this box, and that's going to go in the big box that you're going to have over here. So you're going to have a big stage box over here with all your props in it for whatever you're doing. So you're going to take this and you're going to put it inside your box, or another method, if you don't want to have a big box, you can put it inside your pocket. But for now, you're going to put it inside your box, which is over here, and take the scissors and put them inside the box as well. So this is what's going to happen. You're going to mention, actually this should be in the box as well, and you're going to pull this outside of the box, and you're going to pull out the cards, and you're going to be on with the trick. So you're going to start to make sure that you have the 6 of spades on the bottom or the top, and you're going to force the cards. So there's many ways to do this. I'm pretty sure you all know how to do that if you're watching, but here's just a really quick way. You're going to ask the spectator to tell you when to stop. They say stop. You're going to swing cut it over and show them the bottom cards. So anyways, you're going to force the 6 of spades on the spectator. I'm pretty sure all of you know how to do that. If you don't,
then there's a really quick way to do it, or you could just find a better tutorial. But anyways, you're going to force a card on the spectator, then you shuffle the deck up because obviously you have your duplicate box inside your stage box or inside your pocket, depending on how you want to switch the deck. Now, what you're going to do is you're going to close the box up, and then you're going to switch the deck as you go over to grab your pair of scissors. So you're going to mention to the spectator, before you touch the box, you're going to mention to the spectator that you're going to need a pair of scissors. And then you're going to go over to the box, and you're going to switch with this one. So as I go over to my box, I'm going to switch the deck. Just like that. So now I got the one with all the torn cards and the one card like that. But make sure the spectator doesn't notice. You're gonna spend some time here now, because you want to make the spectator forget about the box part. So you're gonna act as if you're cutting up the cards, all that stuff, give the pair to the scissors, give the spectator the scissors and all that stuff, but you want to distract them from the fact that you switched the card box with the other box. So you want to distract them from you going over to the box. So you're gonna do a little bit of stuff, talk a little bit, all that stuff, before you do the final moment, and that is how it's done. So anyways, I did mention you could also switch it with your pocket, so if you want, you could have the deck and the scissors in your pocket, and you're gonna mention, I have a pair of scissors inside my pocket, and then when you go to your pocket, you could also switch the deck here, as you put both your hands into your pocket, and pull out the other deck, and that is how it's done. Now that's pretty much it. Hope you guys enjoyed. To like, comment, and subscribe. That's for now. I'll see you next time.